Todd Kim rubbed his tired eyes and looked at his computer screen. The clock showed 3:15 a.m. He had been playing games for 6 hours straight. His energy drink was empty, but he was not sleepy. Tonight was special. He was playing with his best friend, Minho, who lived in Seoul, South Korea. "Todd, are you ready for the next match?" Minho asked through his headset. Minho was also awake at 3 a.m., but in Seoul it was 5 p.m. the next day. "Always ready," Todd said with a smile. He was streaming on his channel, and 50,000 people were watching. Him play the chat was moving fast with messages from fans all over the world. Todd was good at games. Very good. He played space combat games where players had to think fast and make smart moves. His fans loved watching him win battles against other players. Minho lived in a small apartment in Seoul. He was eating ramen while playing. "Todd, wait a minute. There are strange lights outside my window." "Probably just airplanes," Todd said. He was focused on the game. His character was flying a spaceship and fighting enemy ships. But Minho put down his food and looked outside. "These lights are too big to be airplanes. They are huge and moving very slowly." Across the city, Hejin Choi was in her university lab. She was studying to become an astronomy doctor. She had been looking through her telescope all night, studying stars. But now she saw something that made her heart beat fast. "That is not supposed to be there," she said to herself. Through her telescope, she could see massive ships entering Earth's atmosphere. They were bigger than any airplane or rocket she had ever seen. In another part of Seoul, Ji-woo Lee was at his computer. He worked as a programmer and often stayed up all night. He was the leader of a game guild with 500 members from around the world. His guild members were always online, playing together and talking in their chat room. Suddenly, his guild chat exploded with messages. "Guys, there are huge ships outside. I see them too from Tokyo. What are those things? Are we being invaded?" Gi frowned. His guild members were serious people. They did not joke about things like this. Meanwhile, Daewon Song was working his night shift as a security guard. He watched security cameras for a big office building. Daewon used to be a soldier. Before he became a security guard, he knew how to spot danger. On his cameras, he saw something that made him stand up quickly. Strange objects were falling from the sky like rain. But they were not raindrops. They were metal pods, each one as big as a car. "This is not good," Daewon said. He reached for his radio to call the police. Back in Todd's room, his chat was going crazy. Messages were coming in so fast, he could not read them all. "Todd, look at the news. Aliens are real. They are landing everywhere." "This is not a joke." Todd laughed. "Come on guys, you are trying to trick me. There are no aliens." But then, Minho's voice came through his headset, and he sounded scared. "Todd, I am not joking. There are massive ships outside my window. They are landing in the city. I can see soldiers coming out of them, but they do not look human." Todd stopped playing and looked at his second monitor. He opened a news website. The first thing he saw was a red banner that said "Breaking News. Unidentified objects landing worldwide." His mouth fell open. At the same time, all over the world, millions of people were sleeping. It was 3 a.m. in New York, 3 a.m. in Los Angeles, 3 a.m. in Mexico City. Most humans were in their beds, dreaming peaceful dreams. But not everyone was sleeping. Night shift workers were awake. Gamers were awake. Students studying for tests were awake. People like Todd, Minho, Hyejin, and Daewon were all awake. The alien ships had chosen 3 a.m. for a very specific reason. The Cathari Empire had studied humans for months. They learned that most humans sleep at night. They thought 3 a.m. would be the perfect time to attack because humans would be weak and confused. The aliens were very smart. They had conquered 12 other planets. They always attacked when the local species were sleeping or resting. It was their best strategy, but they made one big mistake about humans. They did not know about gamers. Commander Vexstar stood on the bridge of the main alien ship. He was tall and thin with gray skin and 4 arms. He looked at his tactical screen and smiled with his sharp teeth. Perfect. He said to his officers, "The humans are all sleeping. This will be easy. We will control their planet before they wake up." But down on Earth, Todd's stream was still live. His 50,000 viewers had become 200,000 viewers in just 10 minutes. People were sharing his stream link everywhere. "Guys," Todd said into his microphone, "I think this is really happening. Minho, are you safe?" "I am hiding in my bathroom," Minho whispered. "The aliens are walking down my street. They have weapons and they look very dangerous." Hyjin was still in her lab, but now she was on her phone calling every scientist she knew. "You need to see this," she told them. "We have visitors, and they are not friendly." Gi-Woo's guild chat had grown from 500 people to 5,000 people. Gamers from every time zone were joining and sharing information. They landed in London. I see them in Sydney. Moscow is under attack. They are everywhere. Daewon tried to call the police, but the phone lines were not working. He tried his cell phone, but it had no signal. The aliens had jammed all normal communications, but they forgot about gaming networks. Discord servers were still working. Twitch streams were still live. Game voice chats were still connected. The aliens had studied human governments and militaries, but they did not study human gamers. Todd realized something important. "Guys, I think we might be the only people who can talk to each other right now." The aliens blocked phones and TV, but they forgot about gaming platforms. His chat was now full of people sharing real information about the invasion. People were posting videos, photos, and live updates from their windows. Minho whispered into his headset, "Todd, I can hear them talking. They sound surprised. I think they expected everyone to be asleep." "Well," Todd said, cracking his knuckles, "they picked the wrong night to mess with Earth. We have been training for this our whole lives." He did not know it yet, but Todd Kim, a 24-year-old gamer who lived on energy drinks and stayed up all night, was about to become humanity's most important general. The invasion had begun. But the aliens had made their first big mistake. They attacked at 3 a.m., and Todd was still up gaming. Todd's stream now had 500,000 viewers. His chat was moving so fast that the messages looked like a waterfall of text. People from every country were watching and sharing information about the alien invasion. "Todd, you need to see this," Minho whispered through his headset. He was still hiding in his bathroom, but he had his phone out. "I recorded one of the aliens talking. I think it's trying to communicate with us." Meanwhile, in a military base near Seoul, Sun Wukong was having the worst night of his career. He was a communications officer for the Korean military. All his equipment was dead. Radios, phones, satellites, nothing worked. "Sir, we cannot contact anyone," he told his commander. "The aliens have blocked everything." His commander was angry. "How are we supposed to coordinate our defense if we cannot talk to our own troops?" Sunwoo had an idea. He pulled out his personal laptop and opened Discord. "Sir, this still works. My gaming friends are all online talking about the invasion." "Gaming?" his commander asked. "This is not time for games." "No sir, listen," Sunwoo said. He put on his headphones and joined Giwoo's guild chat. Immediately, he heard voices from all over the world sharing information about alien movements in another part of Seoul. Yana Lim was supposed to be studying for her medical school exam, but now she was running through the streets with a first aid kit. She had seen Todd's stream and decided to help injured people. Her phone did not work, but her gaming headset did. She joined Todd's Discord server while she ran. "I am a medical student," she said into her microphone. "If anyone is hurt, tell me where you are. I can help." Within minutes, gamers were giving her locations of injured people. They were using their gaming skills to coordinate rescue missions. Tae-Minju was an engineering student who loved taking apart electronics. When he saw a crashed alien pod in his neighborhood, he did what any curious gamer would do. He went to investigate. "Guys, I am looking at alien technology right now," he said into his headset while streaming on his phone. "This is incredible. Their metal is like nothing I have ever seen. Todd was watching Taemin's stream on his second monitor. Be careful, man. We do not know if those things are dangerous. I think it's safe, Taemin said. The alien that was inside is, well, let's just say he will not be a problem anymore. I am going to take some pieces back to my lab. Across the world, something amazing was happening. While governments and militaries struggled with dead communications, gamers were organizing themselves. Na-eun. Kim was only 17 years old, but she was already one of the best hackers in Korea. She spent her nights coding instead of sleeping. When the invasion started, she did what she did best. She started hacking. I am in their system, she announced in GOU's guild chat. The aliens are not very good at computer security. I can see their communication channels. What are they saying? Todd asked. His stream was now being watched by over 1 million people, including government officials who had no other way to get information. They are very confused, Nayoon said, typing rapidly on her keyboard. They keep saying things like, why are the humans not sleeping? And our intelligence was wrong. Min finally came out of his bathroom. The alien soldiers had moved to another part of the city. Todd, I can see what they are doing. They are setting up some kind of control station in the city center. Can you get closer? Todd asked. Are you crazy? Those things have weapons that can melt cars. But you played that stealth game for 200 hours last month, Todd reminded him. You know how to sneak around without being seen. Minho thought about it. Todd was right. He had spent months learning how to move silently and avoid enemies in video games. Maybe those skills would work in real life. Back at the military base, Sunwoo was amazed by what he was hearing through Discord. Sir, these gamers are giving us better intelligence than our satellites ever did. They have people watching alien movements in every major city. The commander was starting to understand. Can we use this gaming network to coordinate our response? Yes. Sir, in fact, I think we need to put one of these gamers in charge. The commander's eyebrows went up. Put a gamer in charge of military operations. Sir, they already are in charge. Look, Sunwoo showed him Todd's stream. Todd was looking at multiple maps, tracking alien movements, and giving advice to people all over the world. Commander Vexstar was not happy. He stood on his ship's bridge, looking at reports from his ground forces. What do you mean the humans are organized? He demanded. Sir, they are using some kind of communication network we did not detect. They are sharing information and coordinating resistance efforts. Impossible. Our intelligence said humans are weak at night. They should be confused and helpless. Sir, it appears human intelligence was ... incorrect. Vexstar's 4 arms moved angrily. How can a primitive species be more organized than our invasion force? On Earth, Todd was proving exactly how organized humans could be. He had turned his gaming stream into a command center. His viewers were posting real-time updates about alien positions, and he was making tactical decisions based on the information. Minho, 3 alien patrols are heading toward your area, Todd said, looking at reports from other players, but there's a clear path through the old subway tunnel. Yana, there are injured people 2 blocks from Minho's position. Can you meet him there? On my way, Yana replied, running through the streets with her medical kit. Gidwoo was impressed by how quickly the gaming community had adapted. Todd, we have set up chat channels for every major city. Each channel has local gamers working as scouts and coordinators. Perfect, Todd said. What about weapons? Can we fight back? Taemin's voice came through the chat. I have been studying the alien technology. Their weapons are powerful, but they overheat quickly, and their armor has weak spots at the joints. How do you know that? Todd asked. Same way I learned to beat boss monsters in games. I study their patterns and find their weaknesses. Nayoon had more news from the alien communications. They are getting orders from their mothership. The commander is very angry. He keeps saying this invasion should have been finished already. Todd smiled. Well, tell him, we are just getting started. As the night continued, something incredible happened. Government officials around the world started joining gaming Discord. servers to get information. Military commanders watched Twitch streams to understand what was happening in their own cities. The aliens had studied human governments and armies, but they had never encountered anything like Earth's gaming community. Millions of people who were used to working together, sharing information instantly, and solving complex problems as a team. By 4 a.m., Todd had accidentally become the unofficial leader of Earth's defense network. His stream was being watched by 2 million people, including the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of Japan, and military leaders from every major country. "Okay, everyone," Todd said into his microphone, "here's what we know. The aliens expected us to be asleep and helpless. Instead, they found millions of humans who are experts at tactical thinking, real-time coordination, and working as a team to beat impossible challenges." He looked directly into his camera. "In gaming, we have a phrase for when something is surprisingly easy. We say, GG easy. Good game, easy." Todd cracked his knuckles and smiled. "Well, aliens, looks like you picked the wrong species to mess with. This is going to be GG easy for us." The war was just beginning, but humanity already had one major advantage. The aliens had never fought gamers before. By 5 a.m., Todd's stream had 3 million viewers. His small gaming room had become the most important place on Earth. World leaders were watching him make decisions that affected the entire planet. "Attention all channels," Todd said into his microphone. "We are moving to Phase 2. It's time to stop running and start fighting back." In Seoul, Minho had successfully reached the injured people that Yana was treating. But they were not alone anymore. A man in a security uniform had found them. "Are you the gamers everyone is talking about?" the man asked. His name tag said, Song-ho Bae. "Depends who's asking," Minho replied carefully. "I used to be in special forces. Now I work night security." "I have been listening to your chat channels." Sung-ho held up his phone, showing Discord. "You people are more organized than most military units I have worked with." Yana looked up from bandaging a woman's arm. "Can you help us? We need someone who knows how to fight." "That's why I am here," Sung-ho said. "But first, we need better weapons than alien scrap metal." Across the city, Myung-cho was having the same problem. She worked at a drone racing company and had been using her racing drones to spy on alien positions. But her small drones could not fight the big alien soldiers. "I need bigger drones," she told Todd through the chat. "Something that can carry weapons." "What about delivery drones?" suggested Jun-Sik Lee. He was a food delivery driver who knew every street in Seoul. "My company has heavy-duty drones that can carry 20 kilograms. "Perfect," Myung said. "Meet me at my workshop. We are going to build the world's first combat delivery drones." Meanwhile, Na-yoon had made an incredible discovery. The teenager had spent all night hacking alien systems, and she found something that made her jump out of her chair. "Todd, everyone, listen to this," she shouted into her microphone. "The aliens have never fought a war like this before. They always attack sleeping enemies who cannot communicate with each other." "What do you mean?" Todd asked. "I found their military files. Every planet they conquered was easy because the species could not work together during an emergency. But humans are different. We have been practicing teamwork through games for decades." In a hospital across Seoul, Aryam Park was proving Na-yoon's point. She was a night shift nurse who had turned her hospital into a coordination center. Using gaming headsets, she was directing injured people to safe locations while coordinating with other medical workers across the city. "We have 3 more wounded coming in," she reported to Yana. "But the aliens have blocked the main road." "No another way," Jun-Sik said. As a delivery driver, he knew every backstreet and alley in the city. "I can guide them through the old market district." Todd was watching all of this coordination happen on his multiple monitors. "This is incredible. You guys are working together better than most professional esports teams." "That's because we are treating this like a game," Ji-woo explained. He was still leading his expanded guild, which now had 50,000 members worldwide. "In games, we learn to work with strangers, share resources, and complete objectives as a team. Commander Vexstar was getting more angry reports from his ground forces. "Sir, the humans are fighting back in ways we do not understand. They seem to know where all our troops are at all times." "How is that possible?" Vexstar demanded. "They have watchers everywhere, sir, small flying machines and hidden observers. When we attack one position, they already know we are coming." Vexstar looked at his tactical display. It showed red dots where his forces were losing ground. "This should not be happening. These humans should be weak and confused. Sir, I think our intelligence about human behavior was very wrong." Back on Earth, Todd was proving just how wrong the aliens were. He had organized his viewers into different teams, just like managing players in a massive online game. "Team Alpha, you handle reconnaissance," he said, pointing to his camera. "Team Beta manages medical support. Team Gamma coordinates supply runs. And Team Delta." He smiled. Team Delta is our new combat division. Sung-Ho had become the leader of Team Delta. He was teaching other night shift workers how to fight using military tactics. But the workers were teaching him something too. "In games, we call this aggro management," explained Mi-young, who was attaching small explosives to her delivery drones. "We make the enemy focus on one target while our real attack comes from somewhere else." "That's actually very smart," Sung-Ho admitted. "You people think about combat differently than soldiers do, because to us, this is the ultimate game," Minho said through his headset, "and we hate losing." Tammin had been busy in his engineering lab. He had taken apart more alien technology and made an important discovery. "Their weapons have a major weakness," he announced to everyone. "They need to recharge after every 10 shots. There's a 3-second delay where they cannot fire." "How do you know that?" Todd asked. "Same way I learned about boss attack patterns in games. I watched, I timed everything, and I found the pattern." Nayun had more good news. "I have been reading their tactical manuals. The aliens always use the same strategies. They surround a target, cut off escape routes, then attack from the front." "So predictable," Todd said. "Like fighting computer enemies that always use the same moves." "Exactly. But in games, once you know the pattern, you can beat any enemy." The aliens were about to learn this lesson the hard way. At 6 a.m., Todd made an announcement that would change everything. "All teams, we are going to try something that has never been done before. We are going to treat this invasion like a massive multiplayer online game, and, like any good guild, we are going to work together to beat the boss." He looked directly into his camera. "The aliens think they are fighting individual humans. But they are really fighting the entire gaming community of Earth. And we have been training for this our whole lives." Sung-Ho was ready with Team Delta. Mi-young had her combat drones prepared. Junseek knew every escape route in the city. Yana had medical stations set up everywhere. Nayun was monitoring alien communications. And Minho was coordinating everything from his position near the alien command center. "Remember," Todd said, "in games, when enemies are too strong to fight directly, what do? We find their weakness and exploit it," his viewers typed in chat. "We use teamwork to overcome superior numbers," others added. "We never give up, even when things look impossible," wrote someone else. Todd nodded. "Exactly. And there's one more thing we do in games that these aliens have never experienced." He paused for dramatic effect. "We have fun while we win." The aliens had made their second big mistake. They thought they were fighting scared, disorganized humans. Instead, they were fighting the most coordinated, creative, and determined gaming community in the galaxy, and gamers never quit until they beat the game. The real battle was about to begin. At 7 a.m., something happened that made everyone on Earth look up at the sky. A massive shadow covered the sun. The alien mothership had arrived. Todd stared at his monitors as his viewers sent him videos from around the world. The ship was bigger than any city. It blocked out the light like a black cloud. "Well," Todd said into his microphone, "looks like we reached the final boss level." His stream now had 5 million viewers. Government leaders from every country were watching. Military commanders had given up using their own communication systems and were following Todd's coordination instead. Commander Vexstar stood on the bridge of his mothership, looking down at the planet below. He was confident that his arrival would end the human resistance. "Prepare the planet-wide surrender broadcast," he ordered his officers. "Once the humans see our mothership, they will give up." But Vexstar did not understand humans very well. In Seoul, Minho looked up at the massive ship and grinned. "Todd, this thing is huge. It reminds me of that final boss we fought in Galactic Conquest, the one that took us 50 tries to beat." Todd asked, "Yeah, but we eventually figured out its weakness. Every boss has a weakness." Nayoon was already working on finding that weakness. The 17-year-old hacker had been inside alien computer systems for hours. "I found their mothership. Blueprints," she announced. "This thing has the same problem as all their technology." "What problem?" Todd asked. "It's designed to fight enemies who cannot work together. Look at this." Nayoon shared her screen with everyone. "The mothership has amazing weapons, but they all point in different directions. It cannot defend against attacks from multiple angles at the same time." Woo Jin Choi, a cybersecurity expert who had joined the resistance, was amazed. "Nayoon, you found a critical flaw in their design. If we coordinate attacks from different positions, we can overwhelm their defense systems," Todd finished. "Just like fighting a raid boss. But they needed more than strategy. They needed resources." Sora Kim had been solving that problem all night. She managed social media for a food company, but now she was using her skills to coordinate supply lines. She had turned food delivery apps into weapons delivery systems. "We have explosives, communication equipment, and medical supplies moving through the city using delivery drivers," Sora reported. "The aliens cannot track our supply lines because they look like normal food deliveries." Hyunwoo Lee, a physics student, had been doing calculations on his computer. "I figured out the optimal angles for attacking the mothership. If we hit these 3 points at exactly the same time, we can overload their power systems." "How do you know?" Songho asked. He was skeptical of all the young gamers, even though they had been right about everything so far. "Same way I learned to beat physics puzzles in games," Hyunwoo explained. "I calculate angles, timing, and force distribution until I find the perfect solution." Yongji Song had been handling a different kind of warfare. She normally managed social media accounts, but now she was fighting a psychological war against the aliens. "I have been monitoring their communications," Yongji said. "The alien soldiers are getting scared. They keep asking their commanders why the humans are not surrendering." "What are you telling them?" Todd asked. Eunji smiled. "I hacked into their communication system and started sending them memes." "Memes?" Todd laughed. "You are trolling an alien invasion force. They do not understand human humor at all. It's confusing them and making them nervous." One alien commander said humans might be insane because we make jokes during battles. Commander Vexstar was indeed getting confused reports from his forces. "Sir, the humans are sending us strange images and symbols. Our language experts cannot figure out what they mean." "Show me," Vexstar demanded. An officer displayed a human meme on the main screen. It showed a picture of a cat with text that said, "Icon has victory." Vexstar stared at the image. "What is this supposed to mean?" "We do not know, sir, but they keep sending hundreds of these images. Some show small animals, others show humans making strange faces. Are they trying to surrender?" "We think they might be trying to drive us insane, sir." Back on Earth, Todd was preparing for the biggest battle of his life. His viewers had grown to 8 million people. Every major city had gaming teams ready to attack local alien positions. Military forces had finally accepted that gamers were better at coordination than traditional command structures. "Okay everyone," Todd said, looking at his camera. "This is it. This is the final boss fight. We have one chance to do this right." He brought up a map showing attack positions around the world. Teams in New York, London, Tokyo, Sydney, and 50 other cities are ready. When I give the signal, everyone attacks their local targets at exactly the same time. Minho was in position near the alien command center in Seoul. Todd, I can see their main communication array. If I can plant Taemin's explosive device on it, they will lose contact with ground forces. Panon had spent the morning building bombs using alien technology. The explosive is ready. It will cause a chain reaction that should disable their entire local network. Myung was hovering above the city with her modified delivery drones. Each drone now carried a small bomb that could target alien equipment. Drone squadron ready. For attack run, Sungho had gathered 30 night shift workers who were ready to fight. Ground team ready. We will attack their infantry while their communications are down. Yana had set up medical stations throughout the city. Medical teams ready to treat casualties. Ariam was coordinating hospital networks across the country. All hospitals are prepared for emergency patients. Junseek had mapped every escape route and supply line in Seoul. Evacuation routes are clear. Supply teams ready to move. Giwoo was managing coordination between all teams worldwide. His guild network now included 10 million gamers from every country. All global teams report. Ready status. Nayoon was deep inside the alien mothership's computer systems. I am ready to shut down their defense systems when you give the signal. Todd looked at all his monitors, showing teams around the world. Gamers, night shift workers, students, and ordinary people who had spent their whole lives learning to work together through video games. The aliens had studied human governments and militaries, but they had never studied human gaming culture. All teams, this is Todd, he said into his microphone. Remember what we learned from every boss fight we ever won. Stay calm, stick to the plan, and trust your teammates. He took a deep breath. The aliens made 3 big mistakes. First, they attacked at 3 a.m. when we were all awake and online. Second, they thought we could not work together. Third, they assumed we would be afraid. Todd smiled at his camera. But we are gamers. We have been preparing for this fight our entire lives. We know how to beat impossible odds. We know how to work as a team. And we know that no boss is unbeatable if you find the right strategy. He raised his hand. All teams. Execute attack pattern alpha. Around the world, 8 million gamers began the most coordinated attack in human history. The final boss fight had begun. The attack began at exactly 8 a.m. Earth time. Around the world, millions of gamers moved like one giant team. In New York, London, Tokyo, and hundreds of other cities, coordinated strikes hit alien positions at the same moment. Todd watched his monitors as reports flooded in from everywhere. Tokyo team successful. London team successful. Sydney team reporting all targets down. In Seoul, Minho ran toward the alien communication array. He had practiced this route in his mind dozens of times, just like speedrunning a difficult game. Level 30 seconds to target, he whispered into his headset. Above him, Myung's delivery drones swooped down like angry birds. Her modified drones dropped their explosive packages on alien equipment with perfect accuracy. Direct hits on all targets, Myung reported. Their ground vehicles are disabled. Sungho and his team of night shift workers attacked the confused alien soldiers. Without communication from their commanders, the aliens did not know how to react. They fight like computer enemies, Sungho said in amazement. When their programming breaks, they just stand there. That's because they have never fought creative opponents before. Todd replied from his command center. On the alien mothership, Commander Vexstar was experiencing the worst day of his military career. Alarms were ringing everywhere. His officers were shouting reports that made no sense. Sir, we are under attack from 8 million different positions. Sir, they are using our own technology against us. Sir, someone is inside our computer systems. How is this possible? Vexstar screamed. These are primitive creatures who should be sleeping. Nayoon was indeed inside their computer systems. The teenager had spent all night learning how alien technology worked. Now she was turning it against them. Shutting down mothership shields in 3.2.1. Done. She announced. Around the world, Gamers cheered as the massive alien ship became vulnerable. Todd had planned for this moment. All air teams, target the mothership's weapon systems. Ground teams, finish securing your local areas. This is our moment. Hien Wu had calculated the perfect attack angles. Military jets from every country launched missiles at the exact coordinates he had provided. But they were not alone. Thousands of civilian drones, modified by gamers like Myung, joined the attack. Racing drones, delivery drones, camera drones, all carrying small explosives that had been built by engineering students like Taemin. "It looks like a swarm of angry bees," someone commented in Todd's chat. The coordinated attack hit the mothership from every direction at once. Just as Na-Yoon had predicted, the alien defenses could not handle attacks from multiple angles. Commander Vexstar watched his weapon systems fail one by one. "This cannot be happening. We conquered 12 planets. We are the most advanced military force in the galaxy." "Sir," one of his officers said quietly, "I think we made a mistake about humans." "What mistake?" "We studied their governance and their armies, but we did not study their games." On Earth, Todd was watching the mothership systems fail in real time. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said into his microphone, "I think we are about to win this thing." But the aliens had one last desperate move. "Prepare the planet destruction weapon," Vexstar ordered. "If we cannot conquer this world, we will destroy it." Na-Yoon saw the command in the alien computer system. "Todd, they are charging a weapon that can destroy the whole planet." "How long do we have?" Todd asked. 5 minutes. Todd's mind raced. In games, final bosses always had one last desperate attack when they were about to lose. But there was always a way to stop it. "Na-Yoon, can you shut down their weapon?" "I am trying, but it has manual controls inside the ship. Someone would have to go inside and stop it by hand." "Then that's what we do," Todd said. "Giwu, do we have anyone near the mothership?" "The ship is too high up," Jiwoo replied. "No one can reach it." But Minho had an idea. "Todd, what if we do not go to the ship? What if we make the ship come to us?" "What do you mean?" Minho pointed his phone. "Camera at the alien command center. Their communication array is damaged, but still working. If I can send the right signal, I might be able to trick their ship's computer into doing what? Landing to pick up their ground commander. The ship's computer will think its crew needs rescue." Todd grinned. "That's the most insane plan I have ever heard. Do it." While Minho worked on hacking the communication array, the rest of the team prepared for what might be humanity's final battle. Pamin built the biggest bomb he could make from alien technology. "If we can get this inside their ship, it will destroy the planet killer weapon." Sung-ho gathered volunteers for what everyone knew was a suicide mission. "We go in, plant the bomb, and hope we can get out before it explodes." "No," Todd said firmly, "we are not sacrificing anyone. In games, there is always a way to win without losing team members. We just have to find it." Na-Yoon had been studying the mothership's internal layout. "I found something. The planet killer weapon has an overload switch. If someone activates it, the weapon will destroy itself instead of Earth." But Todd asked, "But whoever activates it will be trapped inside when the explosion happens." Todd was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "Not if we are fast enough, and not if we work as a team." The mothership was descending, just as Minho had planned. As it got closer to the ground, Yana made a suggestion. "What if we treat this like a speedrun? We go in fast, complete the objective, and get out before the timer runs out." "How fast?" Song-ho asked. 3 minutes to get in, activate the switch, and escape," Todd said. "It sounds impossible." "Good thing we have been practicing impossible missions our whole lives," Minho replied. The mothership landed in the center of Seoul. Alien soldiers ran out, looking for their ground commander who was not there. In the confusion, Todd's team ran inside. They moved through the ship like they had practiced it 100 times. Na-Yoon guided them through alien corridors using her hacked access to the ship's maps. Taemin disabled security systems. Song-ho cleared the path of alien guards. Todd reached the planet killer weapon control room with 30 seconds to spare. He looked at the alien symbols on the overload switch. Nayun, are you sure this will work? Trust the plan, Todd, just like in every boss fight we ever won. Todd activated the switch. Alarms began ringing throughout the ship. Everyone, out. Now, Todd shouted. They ran faster than they had ever run in their lives. Behind them, the planet killer weapon was beginning to overload. Ahead of them, Minho was waiting at the ship's exit. They jumped out of the mothership just as it exploded. The blast lit up the morning sky like a second sun. When the light faded, the alien mothership was gone. Around the world, alien forces were surrendering without orders from their commanders. Todd sat on the ground, breathing heavily. His stream was still running. 10 million people had watched the final battle. Well, he said into his phone camera, I think we won. 3 days later, the world had changed forever. Jongman Park from the United Nations asked Todd to become Earth's official defense coordinator. Todd accepted, but only if his gaming team could help him. Eugene Lee, a documentary maker, started filming the story of how gamers saved the world. She called it, They Invaded Earth at 3 a.m. Seo Jin Kim, the education minister, created new schools that taught gaming skills alongside traditional subjects. Students learned teamwork, strategy, and problem-solving through games. Hiram Choi became Earth's first alien relations expert. She helped the surviving aliens understand why they had lost so badly. Your species has never encountered opponents who practice warfare as entertainment. She explained to the alien prisoners, humans spend years learning to work together, think creatively, and solve impossible problems. You picked the wrong species to invade. Todd continued streaming, but now he taught real tactical skills to millions of viewers. His channel became the most popular educational program in human history. Minho started an international gaming league, where players from every country worked together to solve real-world problems. Na-EUN got scholarships to the best computer science programs on Earth. At 17, she was already considered one of the world's greatest cybersecurity experts. The night shift workers who had saved the world became heroes. Gamers were no longer seen as people wasting time. They were recognized as Earth's most effective defenders. But the best part was what Todd said at the end of his first stream after the invasion. You know what the aliens' biggest mistake was? He asked his viewers. They thought gaming was just playing, but gaming is really about learning to work together, never giving up, and finding creative solutions to impossible problems. He smiled at his camera. They invaded Earth at 3 a.m. They thought they would find sleeping, helpless humans. Instead, they found millions of people who had been training their whole lives for exactly this kind of challenge. Todd cracked his knuckles, just like he had done before every gaming session for years. And that's why you should never underestimate someone who is still up gaming at 3 a.m. We might just save the world. The invasion was over. Humanity had won. And it all started because a gamer named Todd was still awake when the aliens arrived. Game over. Humans win.